The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. I'm Andy Brownell with News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. It's Saturday morning, and we're ready to welcome Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results for another program on Rochester Real Estate. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning, Andy. It's always nice to be back.
Awesome to have you here as well.
Thanks.
So I understand you had a call from one of our loyal listeners.
I did. It was awesome. Jerry called in, and he told me that he listens to us every week, and this is one of his favorite shows. So, of course, I was flattered.
Well, hi, Jerry.
And he said he wanted to know, he told me he's going to move out of here, and he wanted to know if I'm capable of helping him move and relocate to another part of the country.
Well, I'm sad he's moving out of here, but...
Yeah, I think it's, winter came a little early this year. He probably won't be the only one.
There are many days where I have the same thought, to be honest with you. But I imagine your network of people that you've talked about previously could be very, very helpful.
Exactly. So I'm glad that, we do spend time talking about the different RE/MAX events that I attend across the country and the Inman conferences and the different things that I go to both, to learn, for education, but also to network. It's huge. It's a big part of my job because when somebody asks me, hey, Robin, I'm moving to South Carolina. Who do you know there? I don't want to just look up and get a name.
You're
because
not just Googling it.
They can do that. I want to be able to give them a name of somebody that I actually belong to a group with and, communicate with on a regular basis. I understand how they do business, what their philosophy is toward their client care, all of those things, because it's really important to me. So, of course, I was thrilled that he picked up on that and called in, and we'll be helping him relocate somewhere else in the country. And he just has to decide where, because he's got a few good options.
Somewhere warm, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure. But anyway, so I just thought that would be a great time to get that out there that, not only can I help you buy and sell in our local area.
And our local area isn't just Rochester
No,
either.
of course.
It's
We're
all
licensed for the whole state of Minnesota.
Yeah.
And, we do, as we've spoke many times, a lot of business down along the river, Lake City, Red Wing, Wabasha, Winona. That's back in my stomping grounds, right? So, but we can also help you find an agent that will be really good, that will take just as good a care of you as we would here in any state in the country. And not only that, even in other countries. I mean, I helped my sister relocate to Costa Rica. So, yeah. So happy to help you.
The best man at my wedding lives in Costa Rica.
Really?
Yeah, what a coincidence.
Wow, that is. Do you know what name of the town is?
No, I don't. It's on the Pacific side.
Oh, that doesn't help me.
Yeah.
My sister's in the rainforest. I haven't been there.
Well,
One of these days I'll go visit her.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
We should just plan a trip?
Yeah.
Go to Costa Rica together.
He owns a hotel.
Wow.
So there.
Well, that's handy. Well, that sounds better than staying with my sister. I hope she doesn't get the station in Costa Rica.
And Jerry, it's really warm in Costa Rica, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, Jerry. It is. All right.
Okay, well, that's another one of the services you can expect with the Gwaltney Group.
Yes,
Fantastic.
Happy to help you relocate.
Well, you brought along a guest this week.
I did. I brought along Miss Anna McKay.
Hi, Anna.
Hello.
Well, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So, what's the connection? Why did Anna come?
Well, I'll let Anna tell you about Anna, but she is clearly one of my preferred lenders.
Okay.
And so I'll let her tell you a little bit about herself.
Yeah, I'm a mortgage loan originator for Results Mortgage. So I work in the same building as Robin and her team with Results Mortgage.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's the connection.
That's the
Yes.
connection.
Results, of course. I
Yes.
should have got that right away.
Results Mortgage, and they're affiliated with RE/MAX Results, Results Title, great one-stop shop.
Fantastic. So what got you to become a mortgage writer?
Oh, my goodness. How did I get into it? I've been in the financial industry for about 14 years.
Okay.
4 of which in mortgages, and then the last year with Results Mortgage. And I wouldn't say that finance is what I dreamed about doing. I actually went to school at WSU, Winona State University, for Human Resources Management. But I loved the idea of working with people, but then also like solving a problem and having a goal. And I just love working with with people and with realtors and home buying.
It's such a key part of the whole thing. Isn't
It's
it? We talked a
huge.
little bit about that last week.
It's huge. And the thing is, I tell you all the time, we're all about relationships. And we like to line up with people who do their business the same way. So obviously you don't go into human resources if you're not great with people. And she's a smart girl. So
And
I like
organization,
that.
too.
Yes, I like that. So she does an absolute wonderful job with our files. And it's, a privilege to be able to refer business to her. And especially when people can come in and say, what's the next step? We have to get pre-approved. And I said, we can just walk right around the corner and you can meet with Anna. And Results Mortgage is affiliated with a bank. And so they have a lot of loan products, and they do like monthly specials and a lot of great things for our clients where other banks can't compete. So
Fantastic.
Offering a lot of the standard conventional mortgages, but then also FHA and VA. To touch on the monthly promotions that we have, they change every month. I believe this month is if you apply in the month of November, you'll receive a $250 lender credit towards your closing costs. And then obviously we have the ongoing promotions that we have where we waive our $9.95 origination fee for vets. When they're doing a VA loan.
Take $1,000 almost right off the top.
Right off the bat. Yep. So
Fantastic.
Anything that is affiliated with RE/MAX is super supportive of vets because, our original owner and founder of RE/MAX, the national brand, was, of course, a vet, Dave
Sure.
Liniger. So.
And the special being November, obviously the time with Veterans Day, so that's fantastic.
Yeah.
When I bought my house, there were no specials or anything like that. I like that.
And the rates were high.
Yeah,
and-
what the heck?
I don't know, when are you going to sell that house and buy a new one so you can get in on all
Take
of this?
advantage of all the low rates.
Exactly.
Well, that kind of ties in or leads us to what we were going to talk about today, and that is you brought in this report that I'm a little shocked.
Me too. So I always get this newsletter from Inman. So Inman, we've talked about before, is they're kind of like the gurus of real estate and what's trending and what's happening. So when we talk about these companies that are showing up where they open the door remotely and watch the people through a camera, all that stuff. That's where I learn about it because thank God we're not doing that, right? But anyway, this article caught my attention. The title was "These 9 American Cities Will Become Unaffordable by 2025." All right, so I decided to open it up and read it, and I started reading through the article, and it talked about the reason they feel this way. I mean, it wasn't just they didn't pick cities out of the sky. They're just looking at where the median home price is now and how much they're going up each year, right? So you and I have talked a lot about our market and where we fit, and it says right now that a new Go Banking Rates report identified American cities in which the average home value would rise above the national median of $231 and growing. So they talked about it down here, and they say at the moment $231 and growing by 2.8% per year. So that's going to take things like out of reach or unaffordable by 2025. So I thought, interesting. Let's look through and see what the cities are.
It's referring to average, not median, because when we look at median, that number is higher than that, correct?
Right.
So right now we're below that in average.
We are. And
Okay.
so Rochester, I brag every time we talk about it, I brag about how much more affordable it is here than it is on the East Coast or the West Coast. So I opened up this article and I expected to see, all these. So I look through Charlotte, North Carolina, and then it talks about what Charlotte is and why the rapid growth. Here it says, Charlotte has been seeing rapid growth and large numbers of people moving to its center for economic opportunities. As housing supply has struggled to meet the demand, prices are expected to rise in the coming years and decades. Okay, so then they start rising, the supply and demand. They're saying their 1-year projected growth rate is going to be 4.12%.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So they're saying that a home value in 2019 of $230 is going to cost $239,780 next year. For nothing
1 year.
other 1 year. It's going to go up by $10,000. So, after it does that so many years in a row, it gets to the point where I think what did it say? They're going to catch up with the places like San Francisco and what was the other one? New York and San Jose, where people the home prices are already so disproportionate, just crazy. So I'm paging through and I say,
Robin, before you get to the surprise in this report.
You're going to cut me off for a break.
Yeah, we're going to cut off.
Always. I get so excited.
It's the cliffhanger. We're going to lead you to the next. And I bet, I'm sure people can guess where we're going with this. We're going to get to that surprise in just a moment with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. Welcome back. Andy Brownell from News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results, and Anna from, is it Results?
Results Mortgage.
Thank
Hello.
you so much. And, okay, everybody's been waiting.
Okay.
Let's keep going with
So, yes, it is true, people. On these 9 cities that are going to become unaffordable, you can imagine my dismay when I was paging through, and number 7 is Rochester, Minnesota. It says, Rochester, Minnesota, located 90 miles outside of Minneapolis. Minnesota's Rochester regularly makes lists of the best places to live in the country, which we are very proud of. It's small, it has a strong job market and developed infrastructure. However, the town has a major claim to fame. It's home to the legendary Mayo Clinic, reads the report. So this is what they're predicting for us. By 2021, a house that cost $228,500 this year in 2019 is going to jump to $244,466 by 2021, which is an increase of 3.43%. So it's kind of what we've been seeing year after year, anywhere between 1.5% and 3%. Now we're getting up to 3.5%. So if it continues, homes are going to just continue to be more and more expensive. Now we are lucky here.
And more valuable too.
Very good. I like it. I like the way you're thinking. And we're lucky here because our per capita income is still higher than average as well. So that helps us. I don't know if they took that into consideration when they figured this out, because if they're looking at the average income, we're higher in that category as well. So, I think we're going to be okay, but I think this clearly says it's time to buy. So to that, I'm going to have Anna, if you would, speak to how important the difference is between the interest rates and what we're seeing right now in the market. And affordability. Yes.
Because the interest rates are crazy low.
They are. Yeah. It's something that you definitely want to take advantage of. If you're not purchasing, you're maybe thinking of refinancing. But yeah, today for a 30-year fixed, or this past week for a 30-year fixed to be at, 3.75.
For a 30-year.
Yeah, for a 30-year. Well,
30-year fixed conventional mortgage. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
FHA and VA even lower than that. So yeah, it's a great time to purchase, and in 2020 it will really be a great time as well. I don't foresee the interest rates going up crazy, like 5% or something. I don't see that happening, especially with an election year.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you think of the people who are going into leases and renting for 6 months, 12 months, even longer, if this report is accurate, that would state that a home that's today is listed at, $228, to think that exact same home is going to go for $244
by the end of your lease, pretty much.
Yeah.
When you put it that way.
Right. And what that difference is in a monthly payment. So, if you're thinking like a purchase price of $250,000, 5% down, with an interest rate of like 3.75, that's your principal and interest payment of around $1,100.
Is that right?
Yeah, and if you were to look at that increased amount, like the $244, if you were to go up that 3.43%, you're probably looking at an additional $100 just like that, right off the bat.
And that's if the interest rates stay the same.
And that's a big if that far.
So
out.
when you look at it, if the rates get back up to say 5% by 2021 or 2022, you lose so much buying power, right?
Yes. Yeah, in what you can afford, because I mean, there's obviously the cost of living that goes up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your wages are going up by 3.4.
No, not at that rate.
No.
Right.
So, yeah.
And this housing situation that we're in locally isn't going to go away anytime soon.
And
There's so many market pressures at play here.
I think what's interesting is that a lot of these young people assume that they cannot afford to buy a house. Mm-hmm. So I sold a house to a young guy last week, and he's like, so I have to have 20% down, right? I'm like, absolutely not.
The biggest misconception.
Yeah. And so they think, okay, I can't buy a house, so I might as well just go find an apartment. Well, I'm going to tell you what, for $1,100 a month, you're not going to get anything crazy fancy for your apartment for Rochester, Minnesota. Okay, you're going to have a decent place to live, but it's not. It certainly isn't going to be the same value as going out and buying a home.
No, and the lack of stability in that situation as well.
Mm-hmm. And you and
lack
I have
of any equity as well.
And you and I have had this conversation, Andy, about the conversations we've had with our grown adult children. Like, we're not going to allow you to waste money renting when we know that it's not the smart move for you to make. You know, it makes so much more sense. And again, I have residents that come knowing they're just going to be in Rochester for 4 years, but they still want to buy a house because they know that they can live in it for 4 years. And what's the worst case scenario going to be? At the end of 4 years, they're going to sell it for what they bought it for. That's the worst case scenario. And so they've basically lived for free for 4 years. They get their money back.
And that's basically the least likely scenario.
Exactly.
As well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've told you before, I've had residents that have come here, bought a house, done nothing to the house, done their residency for 4 years, at the end sold it, had everything paid for. At the end of closing, they get a check for the money that they made after they paid off the loan, sometimes $50,000 or $60,000 for just living in a house for 4 years instead of renting. I can tell you, if they came here and they rented, first of all, they're probably not going to choose the apartment that's $1,100 because these apartments are getting really fancy and they're trying to draw in this young professional group because everything's got granite and they've got common areas, which they find out after they live there that they never use. And they have exercise rooms, which they find out after they live there that they're going to keep working out at the Dan Abram or at the Rack. Mm-hmm. So it's like all these things that sell them on signing up, they realize in the end that, I'm paying a lot of extra for that. So usually people say, I wish I would have just bought a year ago when I signed the lease. So if there's a message we're trying to get out there today, it's that if you're considering signing a lease and you're just not sure that you have what it takes to get a loan or get pre-approved, then I think it is a perfect time to call Anna and ask her about that because you may be very pleasantly surprised about what you learn.
Okay, we're going to talk more with Anna and Robin, of course, about this unaffordable housing report. But what you're telling me is getting it now and in comparison,
because
it's going to be very affordable.
Because today it's very affordable.
Compared to what the future holds. So we'll talk more about that when we get back in just a few seconds. Here at our Rochester Real Estate Program with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, Newstalk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back, Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Our Rochester Real Estate Program. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results, of course, with us this Saturday morning, along with Anna from Results Mortgage. Did I get it correct that time?
Got it.
Anna McKay.
Anna McKay, I'm sorry.
She does have she's not like Oprah where she just goes by one name. She might after a couple of years in the business, but right now it's Anna
Something
McKay.
To shoot for you.
Yeah,
Anna
there you
McKay. All right. We're talking about how now is the time to jump in and buy the house because it's not going to get any cheaper and these interest rates are crazy low. So if I'm listening to this program right now and I'm saying, okay, let's go, I'm going to call Robin on Monday morning. What should I be doing this weekend to prepare myself?
Where to start? Right?
Yeah, where to start?
Yeah,
with
I would say the first step would just be applying. From there we can take a look at credit, income, assets, and see what we need to work on. In terms of documents, it really depends on the program that you're going to be using. Mainly it's going to be W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements. But once you apply, we can review all of that and see what more we need. If you feel like credit's going to be an issue, or you want to take a look at where's my credit score, what's my FICO score, right?
Because I imagine that scares people away a little bit.
Yeah, or they come in and, we pull from all 3 credit bureaus and then we use the middle score. But they'll be like, well, my Discover card says my FICO score is this and this. And then, it's a good pulse to know like where your credit score is, but it's not exactly what we use.
Okay.
And if your credit isn't where you want it to be, it just gives us something to work on. So educational pieces and what you can do to improve that score.
Is that something that takes a long time if somebody is kind of,
it doesn't
below
have to.
that perfect range or whatever it might be?
Yeah, no. I would say sometimes it's 3 months. Sometimes it's 6. Really depends on what they need to clean up or work on. Or where balances are in comparison to limits, with a revolving unsecured debt. It really just depends, though. But if you apply, we can look at it, and then, that way you know.
And
Right.
I think a lot of people hold off because they're nervous. They think, oh, gosh, I don't want her to think I'm bad or I'm a bad person because I have bad. But I think sometimes people think that, and I tell them, you're not alone.
No.
A lot of people.
I've seen it all.
The problem is with credit, it takes nothing to take it down,
Right.
and it's a lot tougher to bring it up. But if you're working with somebody who knows how to bring it up, the thing that comes to my mind, Anna, is when you brought in that attorney that talked about that program for credit repair. I was so impressed by that.
Yeah. Anthony Ikabochi. He's with Riverstone Law out of Colorado, and he's a credit expert. So he knows how to analyze credit. And, we can send him a copy of a credit report if it's something somebody wants to work on, debt repair. And he can identify, he just knows the algorithms on, we want your score to be 720. This is exactly what you need to do. And here's the timeline on when you'll be there.
And that means pay off this kind of debt, avoid doing this, and...
So now when viewers hear 720, you're not clearly saying that that's what they would need to get a loan.
But if that's what they're aiming for, that's where we can say, yes, we can go as low as 580 with FHA products, which seems crazy. I think a lot of people are shocked to hear that number, a credit score of 580. But with FHA, we don't have any overlays, so we can go that low.
Is that just for first-time buyers, the FHA?
FHA, no, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer for
so there's
FHA.
Another misconception I had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
See, that's the thing. There's a lot of, I think loans are much more attainable for people than they think. And if they're already going to be committing to, $1,000 a month payment to pay rent, why not commit that toward a mortgage so you're actually building some wealth, right? And gaining some equity.
When you're already clearly demonstrating that you can afford that payment. You're living under the roof,
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And you were talking earlier about the interest rates and affordability and what you can afford for that reasonable amount per month. Mm-hmm. And I was remembering a million years ago when we got into our house when the interest rates were
12%
crazy the other
or
way.
13 or something crazy.
That's what we were paying for a much, 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 much smaller loan.
Yeah.
So another thing I would like to say, because we talked about how Anna works with for Results Mortgage. I don't want people that are listening to think, oh, I already have a great realtor who I really like, and he works at Coldwell Banker. So Anna sounds great, but I can't call her, because it's not like that. Anna can work with customers no matter who you have as your realtor. I just say that she's one of my preferred lenders because she's very good at her job and because it's very convenient being located right in my office. I've brought Heather on here in the past as a preferred lender, and I have others. It's not like I do all my loans exclusively with Anna, but what I try to do is match the best product to each one of my customers, because my number one priority is getting the best deal for my customer, clearly.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I think if people want to reach out to Anna, it doesn't have to go through me. So I don't want people to...
It's not an exclusive deal.
Right. I don't want people to think that, oh, geez, I don't want to have Robin as my realtor. Don't ask me why they would think that, but I'm just saying if they don't, or they already have a relationship with somebody else. Again, I value relationships, but Anna would still be available to, right, Anna?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
She'll take your call, right?
Mm-hmm. I will take your call, yes.
Well, maybe that's where we should go now. If I wanted to talk to you, how would I get a hold of you?
How would you reach me?
Yeah.
507-254-0761. Otherwise, you can go out to resultsmortgage.com and click on the contact. You'll see all of the advisors there.
And get to work on an early New Year's resolution of strategizing so you can be in that home.
Have a plan.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's always about having a plan, right?
So, yeah, thanks for coming with me today, Anna, because whenever I can bring value to the listeners, I feel like that's a huge advantage. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, you bet. Glad to meet you. I better get back to you before we go. And if you were on the edge and now you heard this program, and especially the idea these home prices are predicted to rise as fast as they're going to rise, and that message came home to you and you said, now's the time.
Now is the time.
How do I get a hold of Robin Gwaltney or somebody from your team?
Sure. So my cell phone is 507-259-4926. I always have my cell phone with me, and the only time I don't answer it is if I'm talking to somebody else or in the middle of something, but I will be quick to call you back, so leave a message. Otherwise, you can visit our website at gwaltneygroup.com.
Very good. Well, Robin, until next week.
Nice to see you, Andy.
You as well. Have a wonderful week. And Anna, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And thanks for the valuable information as well.
You're welcome.
Until next Saturday, this is your Rochester Real Estate Program with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.